Regardless of the expectations, the game is played on Sunday. You got to go out there and play the game, and regardless of if people think you're going to win, think you're going to lose, doesn't really matter. So, and that's the mindset we had last year, being pretty much underdog in every game, and we got to carry that over this year too. We still have to have that chip on our shoulder and prepare the same way. You know, we still didn't get to where we wanted to last year, so we have a lot more work to do.
What Calvin Ridley's going to do for Trevor Lawrence and what Trevor's going to do for Calvin Ridley, Calvin's going to burst back onto the scene as being that guy who, when he left, before he left and was suspended, I thought was the best route runner in the NFL, period.
And nobody open. Ryan buys some time, throws, Ridley's got it! Who else? His third of the game!
I'll say this could be the best offense. This could be the most explosive offense the Jaguars have ever put up the field. I'm going back to when we had Jimmy, Keenan, and Fred.
Jacksonville has got dudes, man.
Shotgun for Trevor Lawrence. It's a blitz. I mean, it is an all-out blitz. Trevor fires left side. That ball is going to be caught for the touchdown by Evan Ingram in the left corner of the end zone. Are you kidding me? The Jags have extended the lead.
The first year we took it to the limit.
He drops the throw. Looking, fires middle of the field, and that ball is picked off. It is picked off by Rayshawn Jenkins. He's running it back along the right sideline. That is going to be a touchdown. That is going to be a touchdown. The Jags are going to win it on a Rayshawn Jenkins pick six. Are you kidding me? How good is that?
Hey, what's up? Smoot Gang back in the building. We back in Jacks for another year, another great year, another incredible year. Like I said, all I can do is thank God at the end of the day. Hey, the recovery's been a long road, but we back in Jacks. Let's get it. Duval, let's get it all day.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and
Hold my pocket.
Dylan Denmark.
Good morning, everybody. We have made it unscathed to the end of training camp, kind of week one. I guess tomorrow might be considered the end of week one. But regardless, I picked a good day, Tony, to start the show in studio with you out there. A little nasty out, but Jags practicing nonetheless. And we'll have an eyes-on practice report from our man Mike DeRocco. Pockets is adjusting the video right now for you YouTubers out there. Yeah, Tommy Mack, show him that beautiful Hula Bowl shirt, man. That's awesome.
We got all our stuff out of storage recently into the new place that we're living in. So brought it all in, going through boxes the past couple weeks. I'm like, man, my Hula Bowl shirt. I haven't seen it forever, so
it looks like a shirt like, on American Pickers, they would go to somebody's house and they'd be like, yeah, my dad had this T-shirt collection. I'm serious though, so they'd buy them all at like $40 a pop or whatever, but there'd be so many of them that you make a nice number. And no, I think it's pretty cool. Kodak Hula Bowl.
It's still in pretty good shape.
It's in great shape. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's vintage.
It is vintage, and it's not one of those soft, ones that are real popular today.
New
like Tony's
ones,
got a softer one. They're like nice, strong cotton. But yeah, man,
strong, irritating cotton. Only the scratchiest cotton for the Kodak Hula Bowl.
My neck's been driving me crazy.
What do you want? It's in Hawaii, for goodness sakes. Do you need a nice, soft cotton T-shirt on top of it? You're going shirtless all week, right?
That was a great trip.
In
There's
Honolulu.
no doubt about it. Yeah, it was awesome.
Back in the day. That's
fun,
fun, man.
Yeah.
Good morning, Tony Smith. How
morning.
are we?
Doing well.
Tommy comes in here like a freaking bull in a china shop.
I was running a little late. I didn't think I was going to make it.
I am transporting donkeys. I think that's what that translated to, right? Hauling A? Is that what that is? So you made it.
I did.
Tom says, don't count me out.
Yeah.
Maybe here
by
the start of the show.
I was on the phone with my oldest daughter who's now up in Nashville, and I just like, people got to get out of the way when you're in a hurry, and they don't always get out of the way. So
I understand it, bro.
The language might have came out here and there.
Well, hey, look, bro, I am Mr. It's the guy who's trying to pass you on the right. Okay, when you're driving along and you got to leave a little bit of a minimum safe distance between you and the vehicle. I hate the person who's on my bumper when I got nowhere to go in front of me.
Yeah.
I'll brake check the heck out of that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's just the etiquette. The etiquette's
just
waning.
Chill a little bit.
Okay.
Like, I want to get where I'm going to.
Right.
I will move over to
I do too,
to the middle lane, as Tony
Yep.
informed me it was the travel lane. which
Yes.
is highway patrol.
Wait, what?
Circles.
The
Tony
middle
runs a
lane
highway
is the
patrol.
The
travel.
the right lane is the when you're exiting or entering.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Generally speaking, the middle
Right.
lane is the travel lane. The left lane is the fast lane.
Okay.
When you're on the interstate, there's actually
on the
rules about
interstate.
how fast you have to be going to be in the far left lane.
Okay.
Right? Because they have the minimum speed, whatever,
Right. Yeah.
50,
Yeah.
whatever it is. So
Yeah.
you'd want to be in the farthest to the right lane that you can be, and you might want to try to get out of there when everyone's trying to
Right.
merge.
Yeah.
Right? With that
Yeah.
kind of thing. But if you're in the far left lane, go the speed limit at least.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is the idea
or
of being
get
in
the
that lane.
what out of the way. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Move on over. It's all good.
Right, but realize the person can't don't brake check. That's a D-bag move. That's what somebody said on the text line. Get off my donkey.
Well,
Okay?
so I'll be honest. On my
Get
way
off
in
my
today, I'm
donkey.
coming up South Side. I'm trying to take a right at Hogan. There's the, I'm going to make the light. It's all good. And I swear the person in front of me, they hit the brakes for a reason. I was not on their butt, but I had my blinker on, and I swear they did it on purpose. They were like, nah, you're not in any hurry. You just take your time. And I caught up to him on the turn lane. I was like, rawr.
Well, the bottom line is you made it here
Yeah, it's
in
beautiful.
one piece. The Jaguars have made it through the first week mostly in one piece. Let's knock on wood.
Knock on
right?
wood
And-
after seeing the Burrow scare.
and it's just apparently a little calf strain, although maybe he had something working anyway because he was wearing the sleeve on that
Yeah,
calf.
right.
And they said he doesn't typically do that. And,
baby.
Zach Taylor was talking about everyone's got general soreness. Well, when it's a guy that you're getting ready to give $52.5 million plus a penny to, to top Justin Herbert's deal, you get concerned about that a little bit.
A guy that's going to potentially take you to the Super Bowl. Without him,
Right.
you're probably not going.
And a guy in Joe Burrow who has not had a normal training camp to this
Right.
point in his career
No,
for a
right.
variety of reasons, right? Injury, COVID, he had
Yep.
the appendectomy
Yeah,
last year,
last
so
year,
he's
right.
had all this stuff
Yep.
going on. And, again, knock on wood, I don't root for it to happen to Joe Burrow, but I certainly don't root for it to happen to anybody here in Duval.
No,
just
right, of
put that
course.
protective bubble around Trevor Lawrence. But you got to practice, Tom, right? I mean, it's just
It's injuries happen. They happen in the weight room. They happen on the practice field. They happen in training. They happen in games. I mean, it's just an unfortunate thing. But when you saw him go down, Tony, it looked like Achilles. Like, I was like, oh, my gosh,
Right.
no. I mean, I don't want anybody to get hurt like that. That's like, and I often talk, I like quarterbacks bloody and all that, and I do, but I don't want to see them, get hurt.
It was a scary looking video.
It was, man.
For
I
sure.
was
like out of the practice, it's, him just trying to run out of the pocket to
Get
the
out of the
right,
po-
and
right.
then he just starts hopping around. It's like, oh
Yep.
no.
Yeah, like something.
Right? Like that
Twing.
non-contact stuff always is a little bit more, oh no.
No, right.
When you see players reacting like
Yeah.
that, but it does turn out that it's going to be a calf strain. You're not going to see him play in the preseason. You weren't going to see it much anyway.
Yep.
But it does sound like he'll be fine.
You know what's wild is the non-contact. So both of mine were non-contact. I'd been in piles where my legs and arms were all tangled and all this. You know what I mean? It's like nothing. You get up like it's nothing. Then a quick, just change of direction and ping, it goes. It's
Well, I
wild.
thought,
It's absolutely wild.
really wanted to give an A for effort to Jalen Ramsey to take it as far as to have surgery. to
Oh,
get out of
wow.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna have an injury, everything he does is suspect to me.
Yeah.
To take it to that length to actually get cut on is pretty impressive to get out of training camp. So nice job
Yeah, good
by
job.
Jalen down there. But hey, look, Jags on the field. Calvin Ridley's been a big focus this week. But today we'll talk a lot about defense as Mike Caldwell stepped up to the mic about 2 hours ago. Rayshon Jenkins going to speak after practice, which is interesting. I mean, it's not them just saying definitively this is our best defensive player, but he's the first guy they roll out, right? Yeah, kind of on that side of the ball. And, we've had Trevor, we've had Evan Ingram, and other guys are speaking after practice. But in terms of the one guy they're making available to everybody, Rayshon Jenkins had as good a season as anybody on this defense last year.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the leaders out there. Lewican he looks really good, man. He's making plays all over the place. Lloyd looks good. Lloyd looks a lot better. I like I was saying the other day, earlier in the week, I love the blitzing that Mike Caldwell's calling. I think he's going to just settle in and be that kind of coordinator you got to be. Blitzing at the right time, bringing the pressure at the right time. But I think Lloyd, he's been running with the ones. It looks like he's going to be the guy next to a Lewican, and he looks good. They both look really good. I mean, run and pass.
Somebody asked here today, we're asking folks about when the pads go on next week, which Jaguar are you most excited to hear reports about, right? Because certain positions, like I'm not going to get too into the offensive tackles this week, right, in a non-contact practice. I mean, you're going to watch them and see how they move and things like that, but you got to throw them into the fire a little bit before you really know what you have there.
What I watch now when they're out there with no pad, it's just like their feet. Whether I'm watching the receivers running routes, it's wild how not wild. You can see the difference when just doing a simple down and in. You see how Ridley makes a cut like without without any wasted moment. He puts a foot in the ground and ping, he goes straight across. Agnew same way, Kirk's, and then you see some of the other guys do it and they bend it a little bit, like it's not as sharp, not as crisp.
It's like his hips are connected to the ground. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What Calvin Ridley can do.
Yeah, well, and Agnew too. I mean, Agnew to me, man, he looks unbelievable too. I think I put on Twitter the other day, like, line them up on the same side of the formation and go deep, baby. You know what I mean? I mean, who are you going to double? You better have someone fast out there.
Well, they'll probably double Ridley,
sides.
but I mean, which is a great thing, right? That's a great ripple effect you hope he has on this offense is that he can draw those double teams. It's like you want Josh Allen to draw them on the other side of the football and open things up for Trayvon Walker, who Hayes Carline caught up with yesterday after practice. So we'll hear that conversation. You may have heard it already on 1010 XL. And again, as we mentioned, the Chad and Sandy Real Estate question of the day today, which Jacksonville Jaguar are you most excited to hear reports about when the pads go on next week? In other words, whose participation in the physical aspect of practice is going to be the most illuminating in terms of how they're going to perform for you this year. I think there are a lot of great candidates on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, listen, this is, it's an old cliche, but this is where, you get the guys get separated, right? A lot of guys look good in shorts. They just do. I've
heard that.
And like I was saying, like it's all about how they move right now. Let's look at their athletic ability, their footwork, their speed. When I was telling you the other day, watching the O-linemen, you're right. I'm looking at them who can make that move up the field in the run game and get their body positioned, their hands in the right spot while moving their feet quick. You can tell the real athletic guys. I mean, they stand out. Like Scherf, you look at him like he it looks like every step hurts. There's no doubt about it. But man, he is really fluid in the way. Walker Little is phenomenally athletic. I mean, it's just he's looked good. Brewers look good. Number 67. Some other guys have looked good. Just you can tell. But when you put the pads on, now we're going to find out who can really play this game at a high level.
Well, we're going to look forward to getting more of your observations. I enjoyed picking your brain out there on the sideline the last couple of days as we watch practice together. Today we'll do it through the eyes of Mike DiRocco. Cool. Who's one of our regulars during the season, of course, from ESPN. He's going to join us at 11:20. We'll come back. We'll hear from Mike Caldwell on a variety of things on the defensive side, as well as what a high-powered offense can do to help prepare his defense for the upcoming season. As well, we'll hear Hayes Carline one-on-one with Trayvon Walker. You're welcome to be a part of the conversation. If you want to steer it in a particular direction this morning, you're welcome to take that shot at 641-1010 on the phone lines or on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, or tweet us today with your response to the question of the day about which player you're most looking forward to observing or hearing about their performance when the pads go on next week. You can hit us up at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Meathead55, and at 1010XL Denmark as well. You good in their pockets? Everything good?
We Gucci back here, man.
Quiet start for you because we got Tommy Mack, and
the oxygen
he takes all the attention. Gets sucked right out of here right when he comes in his Hula Bowl shirt.
I'm calm now. I feel nice and calm. I'm like that guy over there, nice and chill.
Suggest you weren't calm. You're just
damn
big personality.
He damn near came through the door like John Henderson.
I was late.
It's like when people say to me all the time, "Why are you mad? Why are you yelling?" I'm not. Am I yelling?
Yeah.
That's how I talk.
It's passion.
It's passion time.
Yeah. It's like when I'm off the air and I throw some F-bombs out there. I'm like, that's just how I talk. I don't really mean anything by it.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
Every third word out of my mouth is a curse word when I'm on the golf course. And that's when I'm playing well.
Right,
so,
exactly.
All right. So anyway, it's Friday. Jags on the practice field, just wrapping up, I guess. And they'll be back out there tomorrow as well with a day off on Sunday. So Be a part of it. Jaguars Today, Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and Dylan Denmark on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
If you're holding on to another dude's pocket, it's going to be a rough day.
Jaguars Today Friday
is brought to you by
CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living from the JOI Studios at 1010XL, where the pros go. Find the high groove.
Hey, boys, watch this.
This Sunday at Richmond, brought to you by Famous Automotive Tire and Quick Lube, servicing every customer like they're famous. On Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges the battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Do you have a plumbing problem that's making you feel like a sitting duck? Call Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic. Our team of expert plumbers will have your pipes flowing smoothly in no time. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Beer, water, beer. That's a pretty good game plan when it comes to battling the summer heat. When you hit the beach, fishing hole, or golf course, make sure you hydrate. Anheuser-Busch is always up for a good time. Just remember to drink responsibly.
He's the captain of the sea and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
Any action?
He's Captain Kevin Favor.
Look at this. John. Thursday nights at 6.
On 1010XL AM.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Since 1928, the thing that set us apart have been the standards of excellence we set for our diamonds and jewelry. When it comes to diamonds, we have grading standards we've set for our diamonds that are constant and don't move, unless science and gemology dictate a change for the better for the customer. That's what happened in 1995 when the American Gem Society opened a diamond grading laboratory that graded round diamonds for the quality of their cut. So we started sending our diamonds to the laboratory for grading reports. Then again, when optical scientists determined a better way to both cut and grade diamonds based on scientifically proven light performance of the diamond, we adopted these scientifically proven standards for cut grading diamonds because we know at Underwoods it's what a diamond does with light that makes it beautiful. These standards of excellence really mean something. So come see us at Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the Shops at Ponte Vedra.
Do you need a doctor today? For all your health care needs, I found Reliance Primary and Urgent Care. They were huge for me when I needed a doctor that day. Not 3 weeks later like my PCP said. 3 weeks? I need help today. The level of service and compassion is what you will experience at Reliance. At 295 and Southside Boulevard, Dr. Patel and his staff are committed to providing the best patient experience and advocate for your health care needs. Visit them online at ReliancePrimary.com.
Cold beer and good grub. That's what you'll get at Taps on 210. Just a great neighborhood feel where friends and family get together. Check out Taps in the Winn-Dixie Plaza, just west of 95 on County Road 210, proudly supporting our 9 After 5 weekly. Head there for a cold one.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Expert Automotive is now open at our brand new state-of-the-art facility on St. John's Bluff Road. As always, every repair comes with a lifetime service repair warranty. Come celebrate our grand reopening by getting a free AC inspection, $50 off any repair, $199 brake specials, and free diagnostics all month long. Call 374-3373 or visit us at our new location at 2190 St. John's Bluff Road. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Denny Thompson here. Are you a home builder looking for a reliable low-voltage partner? Look no further than Tyson Sound and Security. They've been working hard with large and small builders for 15 years. Here's why they are the top choice. They will enhance your home buyer's home experience by offering custom home design appointments, and your budget stays intact while they deliver top-quality services. Builders, send your plans over today to bid. Tyson Sound and Security, security and home automation experts.
If you're a Jaguars fan who's always on the move, we've got the perfect ticket for you with our Bundle at the Bank. You can purchase tickets to 3 or more games, starting at just $58 per game. Whether you're working around a work schedule or excited to share the hometown team with out-of-town family, you get the flexibility you want for your time at Everbank this fall. Visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000 to get your bundle at the bank.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From Roll-and Lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Back in the middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, glad you're with us on this Friday. Happy Friday. And you know what? Maybe you're one of these people that has a job, right? A day job. There are some that listen to 1010XL that fall into that category. We appreciate all of you. Employed, unemployed, we appreciate you.
That's right.
Lightly employed, whatever. But maybe you haven't been able to make it out because you're listening to us at work right now. You're doing whatever. So tomorrow morning, that's the one. Get out there. Weekend, baby. Bright and early once again. Won't be hot. I mean, won't be as hot as it could be.
Right.
And you'll have that nice covered seating. Got the huge fans blowing. I saw a video going around. The guy's like, yeah, nice warm air that they're circulating. But and they did say, but it's better than nothing. Yeah. And it's beautiful
I tell you,
facility.
The way it's built for the fields and all, it's built for the fan experience. I mean, you can tell. I mean, when and it wasn't just it was all the coaches. The where the stands were before, when they practice on the far field, you couldn't see anything.
Not a thing.
And it was so annoying. You'd be like, oh my gosh, why am I even here? Because you can't see. But when you're sitting in those stands and you get the end zone view, which I love. You watch film, I watch the end zone view because you can see everything. I love sitting in the stands in the end zone because you can see things open up. You can see, like, the routes, here they go. And you're like, oh, my gosh, here he comes open. You can see the guy coming around the corner for a sack. He's like, oh, he's going to get him. You can really, really feel it right there. And that's how they built the stands for the fans. So the fans got to be loving it.
End zone view, and they're nice and elevated.
Oh,
I mean, they're up
great.
there, so you you got a good angle, even if they are working at the far end of the opposite end zone from you. And I thought the Jags, at least for the first couple days, and really those – as you said, those stands are kind of spread out the length of the three fields. So, somebody's always going to be right in front of the field. But in the Tom Coughlin era, at times, it seemed like he purposely went out of his way to work away from wherever
it was
prying
more,
eyes might have been.
It was more for that. Like, he's afraid someone's going to see something and whatnot.
Sure.
I tell you a story. We were out in Oakland. We played Oakland in '96. Our walkthrough was like an hour away up in this mountains in this neighborhood, and like just a field cut out of the trees. And like, what do you think? Al Davis is up like in the trees? Like, what's going on?
A young
like
Mark
the third
Davis.
game of the season too. You know what I mean? It was like it was early in the year. They ended up beating us. But it was wild. But yeah, it was probably more like I don't want anyone to see what we're doing.
Those trail cameras.
Probably had a guy sitting up in the trees.
You may have, man. Well, that is kind of the.
May have, man.
I would always presume at an open practice.
Yeah.
I would hope, like, if Tennessee has an open practice, that the Jags have prying eyes in that practice.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
You know?
You never know. I never thought of it like that.
I mean, it's open.
Yeah.
Right, so why can't you can go there? You can take notes.
Like
you can dictate
send
in your phone. You can do whatever, route combinations or where guys are lining up. And I understand they do things behind closed doors that they're not going to show you, and you reach a point in the preseason where practice is open to the media for like the first 30 minutes, which is basically a glorified stretching period.
Yeah.
And they do try to keep things under wraps, and I understand that.
Yep.
And they are very particular about what they want us to be able to relay, even in an open practice, formations, where guys are lining up, tendencies, things like that, they try to stay away from. So, and that's understandable.
Absolutely. You don't want to give away the, you don't want to give away the secrets.
No.
You're trying to keep it all contained.
Look,
and
I said to Mark Lamping the other day, I said, I've got an agenda on this whole stadium thing, and it's yours. And I don't care anybody who knows that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to play Mr. Down the Middle. There's no down the middle.
Right.
There's get it done, and there's not get it done, and not get it done is an unacceptable alternative.
Man, no doubt. They're getting it done.
I agree.
Mean, the hotel's coming. It's all coming.
But and I understand that there will be people that don't feel the way I do, that are citizens of Duval, and you're entitled to feel that way.
Sure.
But that's the way I feel, and I'm not going to be shy about.
Well, I got to think most of the audience to this whole station is
absolutely
overwhelming. They want the stadium.
No question about it. But if you're expecting objective journalism on that one, like I get we'll give you the facts, right? But the bottom line has to be done.
It's got to be a good deal for the city. There's no doubt. They're going to do their best to make sure everybody's happy, and we're going to make it happen. The Jags are going to be here long term with a kick-ass new stadium and everything built around. It's going to be absolutely incredible. They get it all done. It's going to finally be a destination. Finally. I mean, when do you go downtown unless you're going to a game? I mean, I don't mean to look. I know the neighborhood, Springfield. I know Riverside. They're all great. I'm not downplaying. And I know there's places to go downtown. I know there is. If you live downtown, you know where they are. You restaurants. There's good restaurants. But overall, who's coming to downtown Jacksonville unless there's a game or a show?
Right, or you're going to a specific one restaurant to eat. There's that area to congregate, do a whole bunch
walk
of different
around
things.
and shop.
Like they tried to make the landing, which didn't take off. But anyway, let's focus on the immediate.
Yeah.
And that is Mike Caldwell, Jaguars defensive coordinator, Tone, going into year 2 here. And that's a big thing too, right? We talk about everybody's familiarity with everything. This is the first time Mike Caldwell's been in charge of an entire defense in the National Football League. So you would expect some improvement from him as well. And he opened up today talking about just how much more comfortable he is in year 2 in that role.
I think when you look at that, the way that question was asked, you really look at the person. They understand themselves, and we just try to put them in their best position. And you go back and you look at it, certain guys do certain things well, and we'll ask them to continue to do that. But the main thing is just going back, me being comfortable. Anytime it's your second time going around, the first time everything's new. This time, everything is still new, but it's, I have a little more confidence in being able to help the guys, put them in certain positions. But at the end of the day, those guys have went back in the offseason, they put in the work, and now it's time for them to let it show on the field.
I think there are open questions to be answered about what is the most comfortable position for a guy like Devin Lloyd.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what is he best at and most comfortable doing going into year number 2? I think the answers to that should expand from year 1 to year 2.
Yep.
Right, with his level of comfort just in the defense. But it's an open question still. What is the most comfortable, the right way to play him going into year 2 of his career at this point? So we'll see.
Well, listen,
with those kind of things.
Like what he just said. So if you, when I was talking about the other day when he blitzed Devin,
I
mean that's like the first team, maybe day 1, day 2 of doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of last year, a couple plays that stood out for me with Devin was when they rushed him from the inside. He was getting to the quarterback. He was making things happen. He's more comfortable calling that. And Devin, I think, has done a great job all off season getting ready. He looks good. I mean, he's making plays on the ball. He's running around. He seems to be in the right positions. I think he's in the right spot. Mm-hmm. That Will Backer. I do. I think he's in the right spot. Now, on passing downs, you want to mess around with him, go for it. But that base, I think those 4 guys, man, especially if Trayvon steps his game up, you know what I mean, from last year, they could have a nice group. They could have a really nice quartet of linebackers.
Yeah, they have the potential. But,
of course.
That's the thing. Got to fulfill it. And,
absolutely.
The questionable depth, at least on the outside, on the edges behind that. And we'll get to some of those players that Mike Caldwell was talking about this morning. But one that we're not questioning that much is Tyson Campbell, right? Tyson Campbell, arguably, as I tweeted out a picture of him the other day, maybe the second most indispensable player on this team. And Mike Caldwell talking about what kind of improvement and growth he has seen from Campbell.
Really, the leadership stands out first. He's a guy that came in, was a young guy, really talented, and he's starting to put it together. And when he puts it together, he's able to let his experience show to the other guys and help the other guys. But Tyson's a guy that He has all the talent in the world, and you can see the confidence growing in him. And, happy he's here and ready for big things this year.
All audio. Yeah. Sorry, go. Just wanted to mention all this audio courtesy of our friends over at Jaguars.com.
Sure,
of
and
course.
continuing with the Tyson Campbell conversation, as Coach Caldwell was asked this morning, says that he is becoming more and more of a mentor to the young guys in that cornerback room.
It's always good to hear it from a coach, but when you have a veteran player that's been there and you see him on the tape all the time doing it and doing it well, then as a younger player, that's someone that I tell them you ought to get right behind and listen to everything he has to say. And Tyson's the type of person that he's willing to help anybody, whether staying after field or watching extra film with them. But just being able to be that example of, I was a young guy one time, here's a process that I went through, and just help the guys speed up their process.
Tyson's still so young, too.
He is
so young.
He is, and look at the progression of him. Came in very raw. He was, we always said that first year is like it's not like he got burnt. Like he was always like right there.
Didn't know how to turn
in
his head,
position.
make a
Wasn't
play.
making plays on the ball. Year 2, what'd you see? More plays on the ball. This year, you're going to see even more. I mean, you watch him even just walking. Like I told you, was it yesterday? I watched little things, like the way guys walk. Like I could tell if they're athletic right away. I could tell how confident they are, and he's got it. I mean, he should. He's a young stallion, man. He's a young stud. If he continues to rise, he'll be one of the great corners of this organization, man. He's got all the tools.
You think about it, Tyson Campbell will be eligible for an extension next year as well if they choose to go that route.
Good.
And they can sign him to that extension. If they do it early enough in the offseason, he'll sign an extension for a second deal at the age of 23. He'll be 24 next March 17th.
Wow.
I mean, so, whereas Trevor's super young, they're about a half year separation. Yeah. Trevor's a little bit older and wiser, but, man, what a pair to hopefully grow together here for your Jacksonville Jaguars. One more here from Mike Caldwell before we hit a break here at the bottom of the hour, and reference this earlier. You bring in Calvin Ridley, we're all excited. Wow, what is this going to do for the offense? You want a challenge. You want that defense to challenge the offense, but Calvin Ridley's going to challenge Tyson Campbell. He's going to challenge that defense as a whole, and Mike Caldwell just weighed in on the impact of Ridley specifically, but just, these high-level receivers sharpening up these defensive backs.
When you go against a good one, it helps you out. And Calvin's the good one. He's one of the ones. So it's all about the competition, whether it's within your group or on the offense. Competition is what makes us the team we're going to be. We're out there every day going against the offense. They'll hit a play. We'll hit a play. So it's just going back and forth. You learn from that, and then that carries over into game situations when something happens in a game. You can get muscle memory back of what happened in training camp and able to perform that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, every time Ridley takes off, you're worried he's going to beat your ass deep. I mean, that's the kind of speed he brings to the table. No disrespect to Zay or Kirk or Ingram, but, the corners, when they lined up outside before Ridley, they're not sitting there going, man, I'm really worried about getting beat deep. Maybe with Zay, you got to be a little bit careful. I'm not going to get beat deep by Christian Kirk. He may shake me out of my shoes in the middle of the field, one-on-one, that type of thing, but now you do have that. So what's great about it was as Ridley's getting his work, your DBs are getting their work, and they're studying him. How can I read? I mean, it's back to the old Jimmy Smith. They were always afraid to get beat deep. They were always afraid because on that by 2 steps, he's almost full speed, and then he breaks it off without any movement change, without slowing down at all, and that's what Ridley brings to the table.
And not everybody can do that.
Not
a lot of
everybody
straight line speed guys, right?
Of course.
But Ridley has that. I mean, even more so than his
route.
speed, it's the ability to plant his foot and alter direction.
Without wasted movement.
Correct.
Yep.
And so you got to imagine we're going to have a lot of instances of wide open at times, right? And now we'll say, like, getting ahead of ourselves here, but that is the footwork we've seen on display for the first couple of days out of that guy, and
that's all you can see. And he's got hands.
Right.
So, I mean, you watch him. It's like all the guys. You watch him run
but
routes.
You can tell. I mean, you even watching guys run routes on air, you can tell, Tone, right? I mean, when that pops, that change of direction, it just looks different with a guy like Calvin Ridley. At least it has so far, right? More from Mike Caldwell coming up on the other side. Hayes Carline with Trayvon Walker later in the program. Mike DeRocco next hour with a updated training camp report. D-Rock out there all 3 days so far of practice, so we'll check in with him as well. And today's question of the day from Chad and Sandy Real Estate, just asking you which Jaguar you're most anticipating hearing reports about once the pads go on next week. We'll discuss that a little bit later on in the program as well. Tom McManus is here, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Happy to report the Thompson family is on the job, always adding brand new goodies to the menu. I don't need anything. I'll stick with that tuna salad recipe that they've had going on for, I don't know when they perfected it, when they originated it, but it is absolutely delicious, and I've been eating it for over a quarter of a century. That's right, the same sandwich, the same recipe, the same family, the Thompsons here in Jacksonville. It's a Jacksonville-based company that's been going strong for over 65 years because they do it right. They give you constant updates on the menu, always use the freshest, highest quality ingredients, and always keep the prices down as well. Some of the things they've got rolled out recently include a hot roast beef and provolone, an Italian combo that'll melt in your mouth, an all-white meat, spicy buffalo chicken, and, of course, the classic big old juicy 100% beef cheeseburger, all served on fresh ciabatta bread. Baked locally, it's what you expect from Dandy. When you're hungry for food on the go, go out and make yours a Dandy. Do it today.
Jaguars Today Friday
is brought to you by
CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living from the JOI Studios at 1010XL, where the pros go.
Travis Pastrana here from Nitro Circus Live, and you're listening to 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jack Sports Radio.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. We're your local family jeweler for 46 years in Jacksonville with a huge selection of diamonds, gemstones, and pre-owned Rolex watches. And Monahan Jewelers is your store for expert jewelry repair turned around in 1 or 2 days. Most jewelry stores take 2 weeks or more, and many stores send your jewelry somewhere else for repair. At Monahan Jewelers, our jewelry repair is done in-house by expert craftsmen, and Monahans can turn around most repairs in a day or two. So bring your jewelry repair to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hey, this is Jason with Bueller Air Conditioning. Why do we love to go to that awesome grocery store where shopping is a pleasure? Why do we choose that amazing chicken sandwich where the service is fast and friendly and it's always their pleasure? You see, those brands are a promise. Here at Bueller Air, our team is committed to serving the customer and delivering that same kind of brand promise. Our mission is to be the most trusted brand with friendly and professional service every single time. Give us a call today or visit BuellerAir.com.
Major League Baseball is always on at Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill. Whether you're a Ray, Cub, or even Yankee, Perfect Rag Billiards always has all the games live. Tons of awesome beer and food specials for the weekend, from Fireball Fridays, Seltzer Saturdays, and brunch on Sundays. That along with tons of pool tables, shuffleboards, darts, and more. Get on out of the house for the action and come to Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill, where you can catch all the MLB action. Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill, a great place to watch sports.
Are you an electrician looking for better pay and benefits? Miller Electric Company has the industry-leading compensation package. Electricians are eligible for a signing bonus up to $1,000. Now, they're partnering with the Jaguars in their new performance facility, the Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric has opportunities for you to work on some of the most exciting projects right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're experienced or not, visit MillerCareers.com, an equal opportunity employer. That's MillerCareers.com.
Here we go, let's hit it. Let's get going, let's get going.
Breaking the Hall of Fame huddle to bring you breakfast.
Breakfast with Boselli.
Monday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm and Mr. Rue Jacksonville. Breakfast provided by Chick-fil-A.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can now do it in less than a week. Hey, it's Prosser here, and that's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, or even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. And you don't even have to touch your primary mortgage, so you can keep that 3% rate intact. Just get the money you need and pay off all those credit cards, or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 16617881, subject to lender approval.
If you're looking for exterior solutions that provide you reliability and durability, it's time to call Armor Guard Exteriors. Whether you need seamless gutters or gutter protection, hurricane products, impact windows, glass lanais, or retractable awnings and screens, we've got you covered. Call My Home Team today for your 5-star experience at 904-906-8669.
Armor Guard Exteriors, committed to quality, and that's a promise.
Summertime is here, and it's time to cast those worries out. And Royal is here to help you do that with our Summer Termite Special, featuring Centricon. Starting at just $249. That's right, I said $249, and that's installed.
Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Have you been to the Bald Eagle Pub? It has every game on 20 TVs, live music Monday with blues rock, karaoke Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also on Wednesday, boozy bingo. Thursday night is open mic. Bring your instrument and get after it. New patio, you have smoking. Also, you can purchase cigars. It's time to check out the veteran-owned Bald Eagle Pub, 5398 Timuquana Road.
Listen for the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Rehabilitation House Call and the Frangie Show this Friday. They'll tell you about their new Atlantic Rehab location and how to lessen the chance of heat exhaustion. JOI, where the pros go.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars today on 1010XL. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, Tommy Mac Fridays, and occasionally he's a roving training camp correspondent as well.
That's right.
Tom McManus will
anytime
pop right in.
Yeah, man.
What do you think, man? Pockets has been updating his playlist.
I like that.
He's
That was nice.
He's been mixing a few different things.
Yeah, Pockets is
that we
fitting
haven't
right
heard
in,
before.
man.
He
He's
really
fitting
is.
right in. I like it.
FanCam referred to him when I saw FanCam the other day as J-Pac, Justice Pockets.
Okay.
And I was like, even though I'm around him every day, it took me a minute. And I was like, oh, yeah. It's catching on.
That was how it came into be. Yeah.
It kind of was Justice Pockets, right?
Yeah.
It was his rap name. So, you know.
Like you got to earn the nickname. He's earning it.
I
You know
love
what
the
mean?
fact here. Let me take you inside the world of Tom McManus. God love you, brother.
Oh, I don't know what you're going to say.
I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you don't. The other it was Tuesday night. Tom texts me and FanCam, little group text. He's like, "Man, can't wait to see you guys. So excited! It's gonna be awesome. Gonna get out there, eat some chili. First day of training camp." He's so fired up. Like, I have never gotten a text this enthusiastic from Tom McManus. So we're out there, and we're out of practice for like 30 minutes. I'm like, so how was that chili? He's like, oh, damn, I forgot. But I think you did depart and go
ran
partake,
out. I went
right?
out there. I had a bowl of chili.
I
sure did.
All kidding aside, I thought it was the best he's ever done it.
It was really good.
It was fantastic.
It was really
It's like Tom was
I'm like,
so
oh,
like a kid the night before Christmas, Tony. Did you open your presents? Oh, damn, that's today.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
God love you, bro.
Yeah, I made it. I made it though. I made it out
on
there.
Twitter at Meathead55.
You know it.
Is where
You
you'll
know
find
it.
him.
Ding,
All
ding.
right. Speaking of Twitter, which Jacksonville Jaguar are you most excited to hear reports about when the pads go on next week? Let's get back to some guys here on the defensive side, Tone. And one guy, I mean, look, if there's one thing I've heard from Jaguar reporters this offseason, is that they really think highly of Kayvon Chason. Have you not heard, Tony? We hear that
a lot.
Yeah. Right? And you're like, okay. I mean, they are around him every day, but we can all bottom line it. One sack. That's been his total year over year. But here's Mike Caldwell this morning talking about all the tools are there for Kayvon Chason to be successful.
When you look at Kayvon, the tools are there, and he's a smart and talented outside linebacker. He has the ability to rush. He's shown it, and we're just waiting for him to be healthy and get his opportunity to get out there and show what he can do.
I mean, I think I shared with you an off-the-record comment. I can't say it on the air, but trust me, if you heard this comment, like who they feel Kayvon Chason is comparable to, they should really be his agent, honestly. I don't think his agent believes in Caleb Chason as much as some of the guys in the front office and the coaching staff do.
Well, I mean, look, I always say nothing happens without reason. They must like him. They must like
obviously
that.
do.
They're waiting for that thing to all click together. I mean, look, he is athletic. You know, he can run. He's it's not like he's not athletic. He's big enough. I think he's strong enough. The production hasn't been there. You know, I've said this way. I often wonder if, you know, that 3-4 outside backer is not his position, or even the DN that he played earlier on.
You think what, inside backer?
Yeah, but I'm not taking out Lloyd or Alua.
No, I understand,
him,
but you think that's probably where he would flourish the most.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I just don't. You know, look, I was talking to somebody out at training camp. I said, to be a great pass rusher, the one thing, aside from size, speed, length, and all the other stuff, you got to be a natural bender. It's got to come natural to you. It can't be, I don't know, he doesn't look like a natural bender to me at all. Like, it's not even in his forte, which is okay. Some guys have it, some guys don't have it. You know, you're not going to get by just, you know, trying to fake them out and then knocking hands down and getting around when you're showing your chest. It's just they're going to hit. They're going to get you. They're going to get a paw on you. So maybe his technique has gotten better that we haven't seen yet. They're expecting to, you know, see it when the pads come on in this season. You know, but he's here. If they didn't like him, they would have tried to shop him or, you know.
Right, or not necessarily
not be number 3.
But, you know, because he's on his rookie deal, but not speak as highly about him.
It's a weird offseason at that position, right? They didn't add anything in free agency at that kind of outside linebacker spot. They draft the guy in Yasir Abdullah, and we're all interested to see what that's going to look like when the pads come on next week, right? But they go through an offseason. Josh Allen wasn't here.
Right.
So if you're the third outside linebacker, you're one of the top 2 outside linebackers throughout the entire offseason. So Caleb Chason got however many reps he needed to get. Right, he is the guy that's running opposite Trayvon Walker for the whole offseason for whatever that's worth. Yep. And he didn't embarrass himself in the coach's eyes, at least.
Right.
So they at least feel okay with him in that kind of position going into training camp. We'll see again. I don't think it's impossible that they add one of these veteran guys.
Yep.
But they wanted to see what they have once they got into camp. Caleb Chason's running as the third guy right now. Yep. And as Coach Caldwell said in that last comment, but also added to it, with the next question being asked, look, Caleb is a guy who has dealt with different kind of health problems. They're the injury problems for the first few years of his career. Coach Caldwell said he is healthy right now.
Yeah.
When you look at it, he's never really had the chance for a full season, and we're waiting for him to, you know, be healthy. And if you look at him from time we got here to now, the work he's put in, it's time for him to, you know, time for his hard work to pay off for him.
Look, you said, Tom, for you kind of figured things out when you're about 26, right?
Well, just my athletic prime.
Sure.
And then the confidence, everything just grows from there. But, yeah, I hit mine around 26.
Caleb turned 24 3 days ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's young, too.
They have a lot of really young guys. That doesn't mean that he's going to become, you know, a guy that you can count on to be a productive part of that rotation. Yeah. But at the moment, he's got the best opportunity. He's the first guy up, right, as the kind of the third pass rusher on this football team. So, look, I hope the best for him.
Of course.
Root for him.
And best for the team. You know, if they look, I got to imagine that they really like his athleticism. They like that then they're waiting for that, you know, whether it's health, whether it's just everything clicking together, whether the moves come, the technique comes, the setup comes, what have you, as a pass rusher. I think they're waiting for that to all come together. And if it doesn't, their hope is, well, maybe it's Abdullah, maybe it's Lacey, maybe somebody else is going to step up and take that role. Maybe it's Smoot. You know, we'll see.
Speaking of health, Devon Hamilton was riding the bike yesterday. He got asked, Mike Caldwell got asked about it, because kind of like they don't have to talk about injuries at all. They're not required to during training camp. And he just said basically that's between him and the trainer. It didn't sound like it was any major concern, but I just wanted to acknowledge that because, you know, that's out there. But one guy who did get added to the front seven, it was interesting. We had him on before the draft, and the Jags have shown interest in him. And Tyler Lacey ultimately got selected by the team in the 4th round. And here's Mike Caldwell on what he has seen from the young defensive lineman.
Tyler, he's a guy that once we found him on film, we looked at him, we liked the way he played the game, and it's still showing. Now, we're still in shorts. And for a D lineman in shorts, it's kind of, you can judge them, but the game's played with pads on. And we want to wait till he gets the pads on. But everything we see from him now, he's a big, strong, athletic guy, and we're ready for him to put the pads on.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
I am too. He is big. He's a big, what is he, 6'5", 280?
6'4", 285 is what I see him listed as.
It's a big dude, and he can move too, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Same with Abdullah. You know, I want to see him. He looks a little undersized to play that outside backer position, but if he's got the speed and the skill and the you know, the bend and all that, and the good hands, maybe he is.
Yeah, that size didn't impact his production in college.
Didn't.
Got to make the transition to the NFL. We'll see what that looks like, you know.
Absolutely.
And you really can't tell till the pads come on how comfortable he's going to be around the bigger bodies, the quicker bodies that are in the NFL that he'll be trying to get around. They do bring DeJuan Smoot back, and Coach Caldwell was asked about that this morning.
Get Smoot here. Last year, the team really gelled so well late in the season, and certain guys fell into certain roles, and he's a guy that he has a role on the team, and we always wanted our guys back, and it's good that it took a while to get him back, but now he's back, and when he's back on the field with us fully, that'll be great, but we're just excited to have him back. His leadership in that outside linebacker room, defensive line room, he gives us versatility to be able to rush inside and rush outside. He's a guy that, you know, he wears a bunch of different hats for us, and it's always good to have a veteran guy to be able to do that.
Just a good, solid player.
Yeah,
good Jag.
We're fans of Smoot.
Yep. They must be as well. I mean, he got
Yep.
over $3 million guaranteed, I think, right? And you know, he, as I'm quoting Dan Hick, and Dan said they did something with him on the TV side of things, and he acknowledged that he was about 80% right now. So they're clearly they feel that he'll be at 100% when called upon when the season rolls around, and you know, because it's a 1-year deal. You know, it's not like you're guaranteeing money and able to spread out and get him locked up for the next couple. So you know, he's excited. You heard him. You've heard him featured on our new show Open this week. About being back in the mix, and they have created that culture where guys want to be here now.
Yeah, no doubt, and his teammates are happy to have him back without question because they know he's gonna perform. You can count on Smoot every Sunday that he's gonna show up.
All right, let's get one more here from Mike Caldwell. We'll have more on the defensive side coming up next hour. Hayes Carline with Trayvon Walker among those, and we'll get to some of Mike Caldwell's thoughts on Trayvon Walker and what his expectations should be heading into year 2. But some other second-year players, Chad Muma, Devin Lloyd, what's the difference he has seen in those two players now that they've had a season under their belts?
I think you can just watch it on the film. Last year, you might see a false step here. You might see a bad eye discipline, but now it's starting to be more consistent. Still not there. It's consistent as we want it to be, but there was a play the other day, they ran a bootleg, and Devin's eyes were in the right spot, and the play was really a non-factor because his eyes were in the right spot. That's the progression you see, that he's more comfortable. He understands where he's supposed to look and able to do it, and then that just enables him to make plays for us.
You just I get the sense you think Devin Lloyd's in for a pretty big year.
I tell you what, I think he's got the potential to be a really good player.
Unlock that athlete, please.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think he's worked on his game. I know exactly what Coach is talking about because when you see it, you just sniff it out right away. It's a great feeling when you're like, oh, boom, I got the play. I watched him on 7-on-7 the other day, and it's hard. There was they deep to short you, right? They'll throw a guy behind you. They'll throw a guy in front of you with the hopes that you're going to keep your eyes on the guy going, you know, on the deep route more, and then the guy will sneak underneath, and he turned just a split second too late, or he would have totally disrupted the whole reception. He still made the tackle, but it would have been a gain. And he was just, you know, he's looking at and I could see it because I think they send the tight end up and then maybe the receiver, you know, underneath. And you do have to take the guy to a certain degree, but I saw the safety on top, so he doesn't have to carry him. And he's just got to come off. When he sees that QB, you know, turn those hips and look right at that guy coming underneath, he had to come off that deeper route. Boom.
You know,
big hit.
You know what I took away from that was that the Jags actually have something called route combinations now, right? Where,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
for a year, it seemed like everything. There was nobody caught a ball in motion. It was catch it, get tackled on the spot. Like we'd watch them, no matter who you played. It's not every play, but there'd be enough plays during a game where you're like, how's that guy wide open?
Yep.
And it's crafty route combinations, and they really took a step forward in that regard. What a job the offensive coaching staff did last year.
Coach Peterson and Press Taylor and that offensive staff, they're going to get you open. That's why they want all that speed, because you're going to get open.
And
you're
if you're
going to have a
getting
chance to
open,
make plays, baby.
Then you got 16.
And all you
then
got
it's
to do
on
is
him.
deliver the ball, give them the ball, and let them take off and run.
All right, more from Mike Caldwell, though, coming up on the other side, and a conversation Hayes Carline had with the Jaguars' #1 overall pick from just last year, Trayvon Walker. What are the expectations heading into year 2? We'll hear from the Jags defensive coordinator on that and more halfway home. 641-1010 if you want to be a part of it on the phone lines or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. And hit us up with your thoughts today on the question of the day. Which Jacksonville Jaguar are you most excited to hear reports about when the pads go on next week? This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today Friday
is brought to you by
CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living from the JOI Studios at 1010XL, where the pros go.
Good time, bad time? Time is an illusion. There is only the now. So now's a good time?
It's a good time for 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Who's your hero? Before you answer Superman, I don't mean those heroes. I'm talking our local heroes. Do you know one? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet want to recognize your hero in a big way. This year, we will recognize local heroes in our community and honor them with a brand new car. That's right, we'll be giving away a brand new car, cash, and free oil changes for life to our local heroes. Visit localwowheroes.com to nominate and vote today. Let's wow our heroes.
This is Hayes Carline for Island Wing Company, located on Southside near Tinseltown, and our new location at Bartram Park in St. Johns County. 2 great locations offering the ultimate sports bar experience where you can stick to healthy options. Island Wing Company has a wide selection of fryer-free food. The wings are baked, not fried, with so many awesome flavors to choose from. You can also get delicious salmon, tuna, flatbreads, and tacos. With tons of spectacular TVs, dog-friendly patios, and 2 daily happy hours, Island Wings can't be beat.
The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is now offering online scheduling for new patient appointments for all of their physicians. Simply schedule your appointment on your cell phone, tablet, or desktop. JOI is the first orthopedic practice in North Florida to offer this feature to patients. To schedule your appointment online, visit joi.net and click on the button at the top of the page. If you'll be using insurance, be sure and have your information handy. JOI, where the pros go.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Is dreadlock tackling legal in the NFL? The answer coming up.
How long has it been since you compared homeowners' insurance rates? Log on to southernoak.com to find an agent or get an instant quote online. Find us at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
According to NFL rules, any hair that's out of the helmet is considered part of the player's uniform, making it a legal tackle.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Find your why in your next career move at the First Coast YMCA. Everyone can get involved and make a difference in your community at the Y. And if you'd like to turn your passion into a fulfilling career, the Y is an equal opportunity employer and is now hiring youth program leaders, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
Did you know that many cooling companies are now part of big conglomerates with no connection to Northeast Florida? In the past, they have concentrated on heating and air conditioning, but after a buyout, many add plumbing and electrical services. This raises their overhead, and those costs are passed on to the consumer. It's a case where bigger isn't better, it's just more expensive. Not Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Mike Merritt remains family-owned and operated. Merritt's focus has been the same for more than 30 years, keeping Northeast Florida comfortable no matter what the weather. And there are no overtime or weekend surcharges. Mike Merritt's team does not work on commission. They repair only what needs repair and offer replacements only on what can't be fixed. And unlike at giant corporations where you can feel like just another number, with Mike Merritt, you'll feel like number one. Florida license CACO 50384.
Training camp is here, and 1010XL is there. From the practice field straight to you, nobody covers camp like 1010XL. Brought to you by Roland Leash Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
Servicing every customer like they're famous. But what does that mean for you? It comes down to the famous philosophy. You'll find a consistency at all 20 locations in friendly service, honest pricing, and realistic time expectations. They know when you find someone you trust to maintain your vehicle, keep it running right, and lasting longer, you'll stick with them. And that's the famous philosophy at Famous Automotive in Quick Lube. Ask about a fleet account for your business.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, is home this weekend at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Tonight is Red Shirt Friday with post-game fireworks presented by Arlington Toyota. Tomorrow, the first 2,000 fans get a Jumbo Shrimp t-shirt on a totally tubular 80s night. Then on Sunday at 3:05, it's Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable, family fun.
When you choose J-Dog Junk Removal, you're not just hiring a junk removal service. You're investing in a company that believes in making a lasting impact on the lives of our veterans and our community. J-Dog is dedicated to giving back to our local veteran organizations. They have donated over $50,000 in materials and services, ensuring that these valuable organizations have the resources they need to support our veterans. J-Dog Junk Removal, veteran-owned, veteran-operated.
I'm Sam Nelson with your 1010XL local sports update. The NFL suspended Jaguar left tackle Cam Robinson last month for the first 4 games of the regular season, which may leave the Jag offensive line vulnerable. Offensive coordinator Press Taylor is confident in the option.
We can put together a pretty good combination and then be flexible in that combination, but we're very confident in where that group can go.
Tomorrow, Florida football is getting set to host the first edition of the Grill in the Ville event, which welcomes prospects from a range of recruiting classes into the Swamp, including freshman Trewan Webb, Eugene Wilson, and Roderick Kearney. Former Jacksonville Jaguar coach and executive Tom Coughlin is one of 12 semifinalists to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Coughlin is one of the first ever coaches of the Jaguars, leading the team to the AFC Championship in '96 and the '99 seasons. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson for 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
At 11:02, it's 81 degrees. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now more Jaguars today on 1010XL.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
Is that a boat cup right there?
It is.
It's
yeah,
boat cup.
Hey, Rob. Boat.
Got the boat on there?
Yeah, man.
That one's gotten some use right there.
Great water cup.
Yeah, that's a good one. Hand that to me real quick. I just want to see the size of that if I could. Because there's a small one, maybe. I like those ones you get at the movies.
Right.
When you get the special commemorative cup, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Massive ones. Of course, I'm not drinking the Pepsi right now.
Thanks. Let's pass it around. Would you like it, little?
But I like the big one. The big one can hold like 2.5 cans of Pepsi in it.
Yeah.
Which is great. And then you just slug the other half, and you're ready to go. You're set for your
Pepsi, water, whatever you like.
Whatever you like.
That's
whatever you drink. It's all good. Just saw the boat, all scratched up, and
it's all it's a lot of good use.
A-Rob here on the other side.
Yeah. It's either water or protein shake. It's a great cup for a protein
as far
shake.
as you know.
Yeah.
Link. All right.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't mix. No, I don't mix that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
Like maybe I had beer. I wouldn't put beer in there. I wouldn't put beer in there if I've put water or protein shake.
Okay.
I don't mix
your
it
cup
like that.
separate.
I do. I separate the cups.
Okay. Now, I'm just saying we take it on faith that is actually your water cup, right?
Oh, yeah.
Could be your mixed drink cup.
No.
Right. That one's
I don't
much
start that early on Friday or any day for that matter.
All right. Well, let's do this. We'll get to Mike Caldwell talking about Trayvon Walker and what he saw last year going into the transition into this season, and we'll hear Hayes Carline with Trayvon Walker momentarily. But first, Tony Smith taking you around the National Football League.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow was not able to finish practice yesterday after suffering what his head coach Zach Taylor called a calf strain. He did not provide any timeline regarding when Burrow would be able to return to practice for Cincinnati. The Bengals also signed defensive end Trey Hendrickson to a one-year contract extension, which will now keep him with the team through 2025. The new deal includes $21 million in new money, including an $8 million signing bonus. Miami Dolphins cornerback Jalen Ramsey was carted off the field yesterday with an apparent injury to his left leg. Ramsey is having surgery today to repair the meniscus injury he suffered on Thursday. Surgeons are expected to make a determination during surgery regarding whether they need to trim or fully repair that injured meniscus, which will determine how much time he will miss. Ramsey himself tweeted out last night, quote, "That end of the season push going to be legendary," end of quote. So at least he feels like it's probably going to be December, that kind of range before he's
weird
back.
though, right? Like a lot of them are 6 to 8 weeks, right? Which is right in the first month of the season, and then Rappaport's like maybe December.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's extensive.
Yeah, we'll see. New York Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson suffered an ankle injury on Thursday, but head coach Robert Saleh indicated that it wasn't anything serious. The Arizona Cardinals and safety Budda Baker have agreed to a rework deal, according to Ian Rappaport. The new deal adds $2.4 million in bonuses and incentives for this season. The deal also included a raise for 2024, but no details on that were released as of yesterday. Tom Coughlin is among 12 semifinalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2024 in the coach/contributor category that was announced yesterday. The next vote is set for August 15th, with only one of the 12 semifinalists being elected to the Hall of Fame.
I went to the boss. I said, "Hey, I'm thinking about maybe looking into a rework deal." He goes, "I'm thinking about looking into Jaguars today with Tony Smith." Okay? I said, I'm going back to work.
Okay.
All right. I'm just going to go back in there and just talk some more. All right. Let's hear from Mike Caldwell on Trayvon Walker. This is a combination of a couple of answers. He basically was talking about the pressure he was under last year, but that, through having a season under his belt, you can see the confidence start to grow in him. I think a lot of people have remarked he looks like he's in phenomenal shape. I mean, the guy's a specimen of athleticism, right? But he looks like he's a little trimmed down.
He does. He looks lean.
Year. So here's Mike Caldwell, Jags defensive coordinator, on Trayvon Walker.
You can look at it that way because, you think about it. He's the number one pick in the NFL draft. He was taken number one over everybody. So you can look at that as pressure, but Trayvon and a bunch of guys in that locker room, they've been the guy all their lives. So the pressure, they're used to it. But he just understands now that I'm the guy, I'm the number one pick, but I'm also Trayvon. I'm going to be Trayvon on the field, and my Trayvon is good enough for the Jags because we trust in his ability, and it's going to show and it'll pay dividends for us.
Did he feel that way last year, or did it not happen until – do you sense he didn't start feeling like that until the offseason?
There's two things that go into it. He's number one pick, and then he's a rookie. So in a rookie, you have to feel your way. And his personality is he's a real humble guy. But at the end of the day, he's number one. So he should have that on his shoulder. He should be top dog. And he plays like that in the run game. Now it's time for him to play like that in the pass game, which he has all the talent in the world and we're ready for him to do it.
All right. Well, let's hope,
Yeah, look, very productive guy in college. Played all around. Had his hand in the on the floor in the dirt. Didn't stand up a ton.
No, he's productive, but he wasn't productive in the sack department.
No, he wasn't. No, but disruptive. I mean, you could say that. But here's the thing: even in the SEC, when you're a specimen like him, you're going to win most days by just being bigger, faster, stronger than the dude across from you.
Right.
The times you struggle are the guys that are just as big, fast, long, quick, mean, all that stuff, and you go against that daily, in the National Football League. So we'll see. Year 1 to year 2, he should feel very confident. He looks good, like you said, and he should definitely improve.
You heard D-Rock in there asking the follow-up to that. Mike DeRocco will join us coming up in about 10 minutes to get a practice report after day 3. But first, here it is, a little hammer time, bonus hammer time. Hayes Carlyon with Trayvon Walker.
All right, we are pleased to be joined with Jaguars outside linebacker Trayvon Walker here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How was your break?
It was real good. Got some work in. Got to spend time with my family, clear my mind, get my mind, body, and soul right. So we're good. Back to work.
I loved that video of you going home that the Jaguars did. How much did that project mean to you?
It really meant a lot to me. Once I went back and looked at the video, it just brought back a lot of memories. Hearing my mom, how my mom, dad, and my sister talk about me. It's really something special that I always stick with me and something that I'll never forget. And I thank them for that.
Yeah, it was really cool seeing the bonds that you've got with the people in that community. How important is that for you to maintain that strong connection to your hometown?
It's most definitely something that I always wanted to do. It's just something that I always told myself that I would do once I got of age and got to where I wanted to go. And now I'm here. I'm just trying to stay to that standard and continue to uplift my community, help them grow.
What's it like? You walk into a little, a little kids classroom there. They're Trayvon. You're reading to them. What's that like for you?
And that's just something that I always used to think of when guys used to come back and read books to us in class. It's just something real special. You know what I'm saying? You never know the impact that you leave on those younger kids, and that'll be something that those younger kids will never forget in their lifetime.
And it was fun watching those junior football highlights.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Played a little quarterback, some of everything. Just showed me being an athlete.
That's awesome, man. Well, how's it going? Obviously, we're just 2 days in, but how do you feel as camp gets started?
I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm playing a lot faster than I was last year. Not a lot of thinking involved. I'm just going out here and doing what I need to do, crafting on what I need to work on every day, and continuing to grow with the team. The chemistry, we're building on the chemistry. Is just trying to take it to that next level to win the Super Bowl.
What's it been like seeing this facility and the fans, and what's that been like for you?
Man, just being in the facility and then coming out to the training camp, having all these fans here cheering, that just really shows you the type momentum that the actual Jaguars that we have as a team, and we're coming together, a community, we all coming together, just show you what we're trying to build here. And like I say, that's obviously to win the Super Bowl.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, and that's the cool thing. It seems like every position group on this team has some really impactful players, which is hard to build in the NFL, with the parity. But as you look at the team as a whole, man, a lot of guys are back from last year. How do you assess the talent level that you guys have?
Man, talent, we have so much talent on this team. You really can't just individualize somebody, one person, because there's so many different athletes on this team that can make plays when it's time to make plays, and you don't just have to always count on just this one person to make plays. As a whole, we have a team full of those guys, so we just want to continue to build off of that and grow as a team. Like I say, just continue to try to build that team chemistry. I know it's the NFL. Trying to build the chemistry may be a little hard, but I just feel like the type of players that we have on our team is like we really have a chance to do that, have a strong chemistry amongst each other.
Are you seeing the strides, the improvements that you emphasized this offseason? Are you seeing that hit the field through the first 2 days?
Most definitely. We're still a little early, but I'm definitely still seeing signs. But when we get those pads on and everything is really full speed, we're going full speed now, but once we get in those pads, those things will really start to click. And then once I get tired, I rely on my training over the summer. So most definitely, I am seeing those improvements so far, though.
And from a leadership standpoint, what's the growth that you can have in that department now that you're a veteran and not a rookie?
Me personally, I can just say I can be more vocal. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm a leader on the field just by leading by example, not saying too much, but I feel like I can be a little more vocal. Just, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to wait for somebody to ask me something. You know what I'm saying? If I see that kind of confused, just go up to them, help them out with whatever it is they need help with.
What's it like playing with Josh, and how has that relationship grown for you guys?
Oh, it's fun playing with Josh. Josh, he's one of those characters, but once it's time to work, you know what I'm saying, Josh, he's one of those guys willing to work with you. That's one of those guys that I always look to compete. You know what I'm saying? We're going against each other every day, trying to make each other better, and he's definitely one of those guys that's going to continue to push me with the scheme of things, just recognizing things from the offensive standpoint and helping me grow as a player while he's also asking me questions as well.
Calvin Ridley really is popped to us. I know obviously you're not focusing on what the offense is doing so much, but has Calvin Ridley caught your eye at all?
Come on, that's a crazy question, but most definitely he definitely has caught my eye. Like, you know what I'm saying, it was a day on the screen. It was a little quick little screen. I'm there. It's just like his sudden movement. He's so fast, twitchy. He's been one of those electric guys that, you know what I'm saying, that we obviously look forward to seeing this year.
Trayvon, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck as camp gets going.
Thank you.
Trayvon said he's going to be more vocal with his teammates. I think that was more words that I heard him speak to the media than all of last year. I mean, that Tom, you know how it, like, sometimes you come in, you're like, it doesn't matter if you're the number one pick. You just want to feel your way into the situation, right?
Yeah.
You want to have some level of production, and he's got to feel really good about what he's going to bring to the table. He just seems like he's more comfortable in his own skin at the moment.
Yeah, no doubt. And credit Hayes for the way he started the interview, because when you go a little personal route, you can kind of break them down. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It just gets them in a good mood, and then they're willing to talk. It was a great interview. Yeah, no, look, we've said this all off season. If we all sat down and watched every snap of the defense last year, you'd probably have a different outlook on Trayvon Walker and his production. You know what I mean? Okay, the sacks weren't there, the pressures weren't, whatever wasn't there. The run game, I think we'd find, like, wow, he really did a pretty good job when the ball was, coming his way, when he could really affect a play. I think he got better as the season gone on. A lot more to improve, there's no doubt about it. Looks like he's in some of the best shape that he's been in, at least since he's been a Jaguar. So you know what that means to me? That means he did that on purpose, right? He's like, hey, I need to be leaner. I need to be a little bit quicker, what have you. The confidence should be there. And again, look, we all know this. They go together. Josh and him go together, man. They can't double both of them on every single snap. So one of those guys on any given play has to beat that one-on-one block and make something happen.
All right, let's get a firsthand report from how practice went today, as Mike Duraco of ESPN will join us coming up next. So stick around for that conversation and a lot more Jaguar discussion before we wrap up today. Mike Dempsey, Tom McManus, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark. Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today Friday
Is brought to you by
CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living from the JOI Studios at 1010XL, where the pros go. Fans first.
I was born a Jags fan, and I'm Duval till I die.
Jaguars pride forever.
Duval!
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Hey folks, you want shark coatings, and the time is now. So close your eyes and let's imagine your garage. Wait, if you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Just wait till you get home. The rest of you see those cracks, the stains? It looks dark, dull, and dreary. It's nothing you're proud of. It's your house junk drawer. Now, see your floor with shark coatings. It's bright, it's durable, it's fresh. Since it's non-porous, it will be so much easier to clean. Don't imagine your garage, driveway, porch, or pool deck this way. Get with shark coatings and have a brand new space with new possibilities.
Hey Jacksonville, we need your help. It may be summer, but school is just around the corner. Hundreds of local homeless, at-risk, and low-income students need school supplies. One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, is collecting school supplies through July 30th, so our most vulnerable kids can start the school year right. Be a good person and help us fill 350 backpacks this summer. Bring donations to your nearest One-to-One Financial branch. Learn more and find the closest branch at one-to-one-fcu.org. And don't forget, the school supply tax holiday is the last week of July. Thanks, Jacksonville.
Tired of the same old places for happy hour? Downtown's best is at Bellwether. It's Tuesday through Saturday from 4 to 7, with the exception on Friday when happy hour starts at 11, because why not? For all you late-nighters, Bellwether offers nightcap specials on Friday and Saturday from 9 to 11. Want a snack with your cocktail? Bellwether has a unique bar food spread. And guess what? All metered parking is free after 6 and weekends. That's Bellwether Downtown.
Hacker here, and you know that I'm a sausage guy. So let me tell you about the Sausage Dudes sausage. The Sausage Dudes use quality pork and carefully sourced spices to make the best sausage I've ever had. They have 4 outstanding flavors, including Polish, Hungarian, beer bratwurst with cheddar and jalapeno, and my favorite, the Italian. You can pick up the Sausage Dudes sausage at Publix locations all throughout Jacksonville. So take it from me and head to Publix today to pick up the Sausage Dudes sausage.
Pads will pop, and the practice field will rock. Get daily training camp coverage brought to you by Kingfish Pest Control and Roland Leash Plumbing.
That's it.
On 1010XL.
Hun, the drain really smells.
Yeah, wow, it does.
I think it's getting backed up. What should we do? Did you just quack like a duck?
Yes, I did.
Duck Duck Rooter, your plumbing pros in Northeast Florida. Need help with a plumbing issue at your home or business? Just call the Duck.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
1010XL's Friday restaurant of the day is Perfect Rack Billiards in Murray Hill. Open daily at 4. Catch all the MLB weekend action with a ticket. Always at Perfect Rack Billiards in Murray Hill. A great place to watch baseball.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and let me get this right, Greg. Cycles is selling boats?
We are carrying the Coach Pontoon boats, which comes with a legendary Honda engines, and these things are first class.
So Honda outboard engines, if you have one, this is where you can go and get it repaired, and then you also have these pontoon boats.
In stock, ready to have some fun on the water, and they are big fun.
So it's not just Cycles of Jacksonville. They are an authorized boat dealer. Come check out the coolest new concept in pontoons. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
Life a little expensive right now? If you need cash, Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach is ready to buy. Gold, silver coins, and flatware, guitars and guns. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn wants to buy them. See Chuck and get extra cash only at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn.
Summer means kids need to and want to get out and play. I-9 Sports is ready and waiting to host kids of all ages with flag football, t-ball, basketball, and soccer. Year-round sports all across the First Coast, from St. John's to Duval to Clay. Log on to i9sports.com and sign up. And don't forget, grandparents, you can get in too by helping sign a grandkid up to have fun this summer. All the details are at i9sports.com. Enter 1010XL in the promo code for a discount.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars today on 1010XL. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line. You're Mackin' with Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
Well, who better to bring in on the All-Pro Roofing hotline than an All-Pro reporter from the four-letter network of ESPN and a Jaguars Today regular as well. Everybody's good friend D-Rock joined the program. Good morning, Mike DiRocco. How are you, sir?
I'm good, guys. How we doing?
Doing well.
Great.
Doing well. Appreciate you popping in. Day 3 of practice. I would have guessed at the beginning of the week I would not ask anyone a question about this, but his name, we were just talking about him on the break, and his name is popping up a lot for having a good start to camp. Heard Press Taylor talk about him yesterday. Evan Ingram's talked about him. Garrett Prince apparently is catching some eyes, kind of far down the depth chart at tight end, D-Rock, but what can you tell us from what you've seen from the 25-year-old?
I'm not sure how Evan Ingram's going to get on the field this year, to be honest with you. Between him, Prince and Garrett, Brenton Strange, I just don't see it. No, he had, really good practice today. A couple of touchdown catches, including one where he kind of made a diving catch there, in the back of the end zone on a pretty good bullet from Trevor Lawrence. But, they had really liked him last year. They kind of considered him a diamond in the rough when he was on the practice squad, but he just needed to mature, needed a little bit more work, and you're kind of seeing that paying off a little bit here. And plus, he took some advantage of Ingram not being there in the spring and got a lot more reps than he probably would have. So, they're always looking to get younger and better, obviously. That this kid really is kind of giving them a little bit of a lift. Unfortunate for Josh Peterson, that probably means he's got no chance of making the roster there because they only keep 4 tight ends. I mean, with the way their Prince has started camp, I mean, it's going to be a tough road for him.
Can any of those tight ends separate themselves, do you think, with the pads going on, just showing what they can offer as a blocker potentially?
Yeah, from what I understand, they really love Garrett. I keep saying Garrett. Brenton Strange in terms of being able to block in space, and they think he's very, very good at that. In terms of maybe he's got to block a linebacker down the field or a defensive back down the field, and they think he's really, really good at that. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on there. And you know what you have pretty much with Luke Farrell. I mean, he's the inline guy that's going to help you out in the run game and what have you. And Ingram is pretty much a better blocker than everybody gave him credit for. I think we all saw that last year. But, I don't know. I just think they're pretty set there, and I just don't really think that there's going to be, much change in the way that depth chart works. But, with Strange, and if Prince really kind of continues to develop, then they've got 3 really solid pass-catching options there.
Hey, D-Rock, Tom McManus here. Great talking to you out there at training camp, brother. Keeping it on the offense with the offensive line. Look, we know who the starters are. We know, like, Josh Wells going to, he's going to be one of the swing and be available and whatnot. What other guys do you think have stood out so far that have a real legitimate shot of making this team?
Yeah, it's hard, obviously, Tommy, without the pads on to really get a good idea. Yeah, but, I mean, you kind of see, Blake Hance got a lot of reps with the today, and, a guy like Cooper Hodges, I know they really like him, the rookie from Baker County, the local kid. He's like, if you said, draw me a picture of an offensive lineman, that's kind of what you would draw. I mean, looks like, big guy, crazy hair, all that other stuff, just looks like a wild man, So I think those are some guys to kind of keep an eye on. And the one thing I'll say is I thought Anton Harrison had a pretty good day today. Okay. He's been a little hit and miss, in the first 3 days, but, in some back-to-back plays in 11-on-11, he stood up Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker on the very next snap, and, those guys did not impact the play at all. So, that's a good start for him, starting to look a little bit better as we get closer to pads. But I think full pads are Tuesday, and that's when we'll really kind of get a good look at those guys. And we still haven't seen Barch yet either. Obviously, he's on PUP, but, Hance and Hodges are probably 2 guys that I would keep an eye on.
Mike DeRocco here from ESPN joining us to talk Jaguars training camp. D-Rock, I think they like C.J. Beathard in that backup role as much just because he's been around the block a little bit, steady guy, good guy in the quarterback room with Trevor Lawrence. But he didn't have the best day yesterday. I had a couple of people ask me, is there any chance that Nathan Rourke could push him? Do you think Beathard is basically cemented as the backup on this football team, or is there a chance for camp competition to truly develop there?
No, I think Beathard's the guy. In the spring, I wasn't impressed with Nathan Rourke at all. We were sitting there the first, we got 3 OTAs, 3 of the 10 that we were able to see, and he was wild and missing guys, missing easy throws against air. He's looked a little bit better, I should say. He's looked significantly better so far in camp, but I don't think that's going to be a job that C.J. Beathard's really going to have to worry about.
Who has stood out for you on defense through the first 3 days of camp?
Josh Allen, the first day, kind of blew up a play, took care of Anton Harrison and ended up with a sack. Roy Robertson Harris, man, he played really, really well the back part of last season, and that's why obviously they signed him to an extension. And he had another good day today, I thought. And it wasn't full contact, but Agnew was coming around the side on a run inside the red zone. And, he was trying to get to the front corner that hit the pylon there. And Roy was like, yeah, you're not getting in here. Kind of, in a game, it would have been a massive hit. But certainly, today it was just, him kind of bouncing him up, out of bounds. But I thought Roy's been really, really solid, the first couple of days. And again, he's a guy I can't wait to see Tuesday. Can't wait until Tuesday to see, the full pad stuff coming on, because that's when we all like to watch the skill guys and all that stuff run around, but the first day in pads, man, it's like bring me them offensive linemen and defensive linemen and let's go. So they'll be the stars on Tuesday.
Hey, D-Rock, Trey Herndon at the nickel spot right now, and anybody pushing him, do you think, for that? Again, we're not in pads, we're not all the way through it, but do you think anyone's making a push to take that spot from him?
Not in the first 3 days. He was he actually had a really I thought he had a solid day today. He had he didn't knock a pass down, but he was in position to knock a pass down in 11 on 11 and just didn't get the hand out there. But I think that's his. I think he's a guy that the coaching staff and everybody inside that building seems to have a higher opinion of than the rest of us out here. And they're okay if he wins the job again. They see no issue. They're fine with going into the season with him being that nickel. The guy I wonder about, and he's not going to push, Trey Herndon to be the starting nickel, certainly, and Antonio Johnson, the safety they drafted, they could use him as a big nickel at times, but I don't think he's going to be, a guy that they would say, okay, you're automatically our nickel. But so far, I think Trey Herndon's done a good job holding on to that job.
So, D-Rock, I looked up in the stands yesterday, and at the start of practice, I thought maybe like 20% less. And then by the end of practice, I thought, oh, no, there's probably 25% more fans here on day 2 than there were on day 1. For 3 days now, what has the atmosphere been like for these players practicing in the new facility?
Oh, I mean, they've talked about how much they love it. And it's been pretty loud. Today, I think, was the loudest day. It was season ticket holder day, and the fans were almost completely full. So there was a lot of people here today, which is, what you kind of want to see. If you're the Jags, certainly, it's a neat facility for them, the coaches and everything there is nice. But, they want the fans to come out and see it too and experience it because it's worlds better than sitting on those bleachers with no coverage and just kind of hoping you can get some water and not overheat. I mean, it's fantastic for them. The big fans are going, and it's actually quite cool up there from what I understand.
That's what I've heard as well, and good for them, man. It's like Tom said, it's just built for the fans. Totally. It's great vantage points and all that, and just one more nice thing. We can have nice things here in Jacksonville, so let's hope the play on the field reflects that. D-Rock, we appreciate you hopping on. I know we'll see you out there bright and early tomorrow morning, and then we'll all be looking forward to the pads going on early next week.
Absolutely. See you guys.
All right, buddy. Thank you. At ESPN Duraco is where you'll find Mike on Twitter, or the artist formerly known as Twitter, and, of course, at ESPN.com, and our Thursday regular throughout the season, and a one-time Breakfast Bowl champion as well. So,
you mentioned Antonio Johnson. He's a kid that he stands out to me right away. I don't know if he's going to push Trey or not.
What has stood out?
Just his size, his athleticism, his footwork, his speed. He looks like he's pretty comfortable out there. I think he could cover. I watched him cover down in 7-on-7. He was really good at that. I think he's got some tools for sure.
I mean, honestly, had he gone in the, let's say, the mid to late second round by some other team, people would have been like, that's where a lot of people rejected him, and then he just tumbled on down to the 5th round, and the Jags grabbed hopefully another Telvin Smith for different reasons, right? But Telvin Smith fell to the 5th round. Jags got for 5 years the leading tackler in the National Football League out of it. So
player.
You can find guys. There's no question. All right, we got one more segment to go. We'll come back and we'll see who some of the nominees you put forth as the players you're most interested in hearing about when the pads go on. We'll talk about that from our perspective as well as we continue along Jaguars today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Tire Outlet. Look, of course you're looking for the best deal on your next set of tires. Why wouldn't you? Tire Outlet never falls flat when it comes to getting a great deal. They offer the best selection, best quality, and, yes, the best prices on tires. You're going to find the right ones for your vehicle. Any tire you can imagine, practically, in the local inventory, over 300,000 on hand. If they don't have them at the Tire Outlet retail location you stop at, they can have them there in less than an hour from their massive warehouse right here in Jacksonville, FLA. All right, Tire Outlet, wholesale prices, premium service, all the great service you need for your car. It's not just tires, but they do have that legendary price match guarantee. You can start your shopping online by going to TireOutlet.com.
Jaguars Today Friday
is brought to you by
CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living from the JOI Studios at 1010XL, where the pros go. A Baseball Radio?
1976 called it wants its hairstyle back.
Decide for yourself. Watch 1010XL on YouTube. Search 1010XL Video, all one word, to see shows, podcasts, and more.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
Tomorrow night, witness the thunderous clash of two rugby league titans. Your ratified credit union Jacksonville Axemen take on the Tampa Mayhem at 6:30. Tickets start at $10 and free for kids under 13. Details at jacksaxemen.com.
First Responder AC and Heat is a family, veteran, and first responder-owned company. Our family has served North Florida with residential services for over 50 years. First Responder AC and Heat provides customers with a hometown feel, heating, ventilation and air conditioning system replacement, home air purification, duct cleaning, and so much more. 10% discount for veterans, first responders, teachers, and new homeowners. For all the details, go to firstresponderac.com.
Mandarin people, Players Grill's grand opening is Saturday, August 12th on San Jose. Come enjoy preseason football, prizes, drink deals, and live music after the game. Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
He's a sausage man.
Albert Hainsworth is the reason why I retired.
Football and sausage go together like Leon and XL Primetime. Brought to you by the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose. Weekdays on 1010XL.
Summer Nights, presented by 1-to-1 Financial, is an evening affair benefiting Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. Saturday, August 26th. Enjoy an evening at the beautiful Glass Factory as you sip premium cocktails. Dance the night away with live swing music from Bold City Classics. Taste delicious dishes from local restaurants and win exciting auction packages. For details and tickets, go to tinyurl.com/2023 Summer Nights.
Whether it's a large commercial project or a multifamily property, trust All Pro Roofing for exceptional craftsmanship and unparalleled customer service. We use only the finest materials, ensuring durability and long-lasting results. Plus, All Pro Roofing now has a full siding and windows division. That's right, All Pro Roofing is not just about roofs anymore. All Pro Roofing, now your trusted partner for commercial roofing, multifamily projects, exterior siding, and windows. AllProRoofingLLC.com.
License number CCC 1327056.
CDC 060138.
Do you have a VA loan? In this housing market, homeowners with VA loans have access to a ton of instant cash. Hey, it's Prosser here. Do you need cash to pay off credit cards and other high-interest loans? Does a check for 80 or 90 grand sound about right now? Well, Loan Pronto is helping veterans every day get the money they need with a quick and easy zero-cost cash-out refi with zero closing costs. With a VA loan, it's really cool because you can access up to 100% of your home's value. Use that money to pay off credit cards, home equity lines, car loans, consolidate all your payments into one check per month, and close in 2 weeks. Most homeowners who do this end up cutting their overall monthly payments by $800. Loan Pronto's all-digital process makes it fast and easy. They're doing loans with super low APRs, and they love working with veterans. Call now to see what your options are. Call Loan Pronto at 999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. There's a reason Stanley Pools is a family tradition of fine swimming pools. It's locally owned and run by the Stanley family since 1988. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build and renovate our pool, and they do a fantastic job of maintaining it. I've recommended Stanley Pools for years for pool construction, repairs, maintenance, and renovation. Call Stanley Pools at 269-7277 today to transform your backyard. That's Stanley Pools, 269-7277.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There's no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Jacksonville, for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Does your home or building need painting?
For over 20 years, Performance Painting has had the privilege of preserving many of Jacksonville's most prominent buildings. That said, we feel like we're just getting started. I'm Jason Parker, and our team thrives on preparing, protecting, and preserving the homes, businesses, and public buildings that make up our local landscape. Contact us today to put our years of experience to work for you. Performance Painting, prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars today on 1010XL. Mackin' with Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
Amazing how much more fun it is when the Jags are on the field in any capacity doing this show. Just to actually have real stuff to talk about, see them getting better, and hopefully staying healthy as they go through the early stages of training camp. Back on the field tomorrow morning. So it's been a pretty successful first 3 days. It's not going to be perfect. Like yesterday, team period, there's some drops from the wide receivers and things like that. You're going to have few kinks
missed throws. It's okay. They're still working on it.
And then pads go on early next week as well. And so which brings us to today's question of the day. Which Jacksonville Jaguar are you most excited to hear reports about when the pads go on next week? We'll get to your responses, but first let's share today's 10-10 take here right now.
10-10
take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take. Brought to you by J&M Roofing Jacksonville, your storm restoration specialists.
That was teamwork right there, because I heard Pockets on the phone with somebody, and I just wanted to make sure he heard me cue him up for that. All right, we'll share the 10-10 take today, and I'm going to give you a couple guys, but I think even if I steal your first few guys, it's very easy to answer this question, right? When the pads go on, there are a lot of things we have interest in. First one that jumps to mind is Anton Harrison for me. I mean, you spent the first-round pick on him, and we're just blindly accepting on faith that this guy's going to be able to come in and handle the job. And I do feel that way, right? Yeah. And he's got a good pedigree and all that, and was pretty highly regarded going into the process. So it wasn't like he was a shock selection there. But I'd still like to see him go up against the physicality of a Trayvon Walker, the quickness of a Josh Allen, and hold his own. Not going to win every rep. And Walker Little on the other side. Just right that combination, Tom, of the offensive tackles. You could say that about any lineman on either side of the ball, but those are two that leap to mind. How about you?
They're probably number one for me, both of them, because I want to see them do it. I want to see them in full pads and being able to hold their own. You know where I go on the first day of pads, pretty much every day, I want to go see the O-line and the D-line do one-on-one pass rush. It is one of the best drills you'll ever see. Big men going at it. You can see a lot. Obviously, it's just one-on-one, so it's not like they're getting help, that type of thing. You'll be able to see, who can move, who can get it done, who's got some moves, who's got some natural pass rush, that type of thing. So those two guys for sure. On offense, I want to see Bigsby. I want to see this. He hits the hole. He looks like he hits the hole really well. He's got a lot of speed once he does put that foot in the ground. So I want to see him, see how physical he is. We know what ETN is, right? We know he's a game breaker. He's a guy that can make big things happen at big moments. He's not a, running people over type guy. I want to see Tank Bigsby and see his physicality and what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I think I'll flip to the defensive side a little bit more, although the two tackles would be the top of my list, right? And what they're doing in those one-on-one drills, I want to hear the results of all that, right? That's the first thing that I want to hear is how those two guys do when they're given a chance to go. I think Josh Allen, we heard early on, day one and day two, a lot of good things about Josh Allen. I expect that to continue when the pads come on. Yeah. He seems like a fully motivated contract year. I've heard enough about people kind of downplaying it here. Nationally, I don't think he hears much of that, but here he hears plenty of it.
Yep.
Right? From the actual Jaguars fan base, I expect him to be a guy that pops once the pads go on. Trayvon Walker should pop every time he's put on a one-on-one of anything, right? Like he should be able to dominate in that kind of situation. And I would love to hear something good about Foley Fatukasi.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah,
Week
totally.
one, when they put the pads on, to hear that it was such a disappointing year one for him here.
No doubt.
To hear something positive about him coming out of the first 2 weeks of camp, I think would be a big plus.
I think the biggest positive you can hear is just that he's healthy.
Yeah.
And
disruptive.
guy that big and powerful, man, should
Yeah.
be able to excel at that job as a first and second down,
no doubt,
table setter, run stuffer, and get you to some third and longs.
When he was out there, he was pretty disruptive.
We had DJ Delphonic, one of our regulars, tweet us talking about he was listening to Jags Happy Hour yesterday, and Doug Peterson was talking about the team probably playing more 4-3 this year, and maybe some 3 safety combinations that they mix in there as well. But we're kind of going through what that would look like in our mind, and maybe you'd have, Foley and Devon Hamilton as your tackles, Roy Robertson as a big end, and maybe you play Trayvon as a strong side linebacker.
Yeah, or like Tony said, maybe Josh. Maybe Josh is the Sam,
so.
and then Trayvon's down. But it'd be kind of fun seeing those two right next
Obviously,
to each other.
Luakon is a middle linebacker than
all
Lloyd
day.
on the weak side.
Yep.
But they with the 3 safety combo we're talking about, that means Antonio Johnson probably gets some more run potentially. And look, they've got it's a little bit deeper than it was. It's just nice to have some combinations.
Absolutely.
That you feel like, hey, if we miss a guy for a month, we can survive that.
Right.
And speaking of those safety combinations, Rayshon Jenkins will be a big part of that. Regardless, he spoke after practice today. So a few quick thoughts from a guy who many of us thought was the Jaguars defensive MVP last year. And I understand, support your teammates, a little enthusiasm. I'm not quite ready to go along with this yet, but Rayshon Jenkins thinks this team has a top 5 defense.
About the offense, what do you guys want to show as a defense?
Man, that we're a top 5 defense in the league, and that's just real. I feel like we put some good things on film last year, but this year is about being more consistent. We had some highs, we had some lows, but I don't want to fall 2-7 like we did last year. Just come out here and not play behind the 8 ball. Let's just get things going early and have people have to catch up to us.
That's a big part of it. Get off to faster starts. Have your offense put your defense in better situations. They had some big play moments last year.
Yeah, their nose for the big play the second half of the season
it was good,
nuts.
but you know what? They had a massive nose for the big play in 2017, and that doesn't necessarily carry over year to year.
They started off kind of strong and at least stopping the run. Remember, we'd always talk like they were at 3.6, 3.8 yards per carry. They were never good on – I shouldn't say never good on third down, but even the first game against Washington, remember they were set at 7 of 10 on third down. Washington's offense was like, oh, my gosh. So you want to be a top 5 defense. We'll keep that run per carry down and get off the field on third down, and I'm all in that camp.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
And there's plenty of this as a common refrain at this point, right, with – the offseason. It's year 2 for Mike Caldwell, who we heard from this morning as well. But Rayshon Jenkins, one of the guys who knows, he was in it in year 1, and he talked about the impact that it could have just going into year 2 with their defensive coordinator.
Yeah, really comfortable. It's always good to come back into a scheme or situation that is familiar. So I know when I was with the Chargers, we were in the same scheme for all 4 years, and that really played to my benefit. And I feel like the same thing could happen here as well. Last year, we were just getting familiar with, the play calls, the coaches, and everything like that. But now we know the things that can beat us. We know what plays to our advantage and what plays to our disadvantages. So it's always good to come back to a familiar scheme.
Again, this audio courtesy of our friends at Jaguars.com. Nice job by Coach Pockets turning it around in short order. One more from Rayshon, and you'll hear plenty more, excuse me, from him throughout the day here on 1010XL, but just talked about what that relationship is like and developing another year playing with both Tyson Campbell and Andre Cisco.
Just true professionals, man. They always want to get better. They always asking questions, and they're not afraid to come and ask questions. They're both really, really good players. So, sometimes players that are that good, they seem like, they tend to kind of feel like they can do stuff on their own, but they still come to the older guys like me and D. Will and just really continue to keep that open ear.
All right, a little bit from Rayshon Jenkins, and again, more to come throughout the course of the day. Would suspect maybe Hayes Carline caught up with another Jaguar. You'll hear it on the Frangie Show this afternoon, and then plenty more rolling back on Monday.
Look, he's especially in coverage. You always have to be on the same page. Everybody has to know exactly what they're doing. Every formation, every motion, every matchup, every coverage. If it changes, there's no excuses whatsoever. Those guys should have no problem with the coverage. You know what I mean? The calls, the changes to the calls, where they need to be, where the help is. Everybody should be into it. And when you have that, Then you throw in some pressure. You got something pretty special. You don't want to be thinking out there. It's just got to be, boom, I know what's going on right after I get the call. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing.
Here are some of the players that got mentioned today when we asked you about who you're most looking forward to hearing about as the pads go on. Obviously, both the offensive tackles got plenty of run. Walker Little, Anton Harrison, plenty said Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen, as you would expect, but others include Brenton Strange, said Big Will, need to see if we have another tight end with a legit ability to scare a defense in 2 tight end sets like Doug Peterson had in Philadelphia there for a while. A lot of people actually said Calvin Ridley as well. Let's get into a full, 11-on-11 type situation and see what it looks like. I think that's going to be fine regardless.
Well, here's the thing. You can't hit the QB.
Mm-hmm.
So the timing should be fine. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're going to see it's going to be physical for him, but at the same time, and they're not going to light him up coming over the middle, that type of thing. They don't do that anymore in practice. Or at least they don't try to do that anymore. Sometimes you can't avoid it, but with the quarterback not being hit, I don't. They should complete plenty of passes.
Mm-hmm. That next wave of pass rushers getting a lot of mention as well, whether it's Caleb on Chason, Yasir Abdullah, Jordan Smith.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
Yeah, it's his time.
Jordan Smith's 4th-round pick on this team has barely played a lick.
He hasn't been healthy, right? His first time trying to be healthy, so hopefully he can show what he can do with the pads. Hey, listen, that's the one thing about pads, which is great. It's a great way to figure out who's going to really be there. Like I said, you can look awesome without them on, but maybe not when they come on.
All right, Fan Cam is getting in under the wire before we welcome in XL Primetime. Cam, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just a quick thank you to you guys for coming out for some chili. It's really awesome when you guys come out and chat with the fans, and we really appreciate it. We got out of week 1 healthy, it seems like, so let's rock and roll. Duval, you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate all the goodies, and I will say I brought back some chili for Tony and,
it was awesome.
Coach
Yeah.
Pockets, but I didn't share the half slab of ribs. Fan Cam, I'm sorry, you got to show up in person to get those.
It's all you. By the way, looking at it, Jordan Smith has played 21 defensive snaps in 2 years.
Yikes. Wow, yeah, those injuries will hurt that.
Hey, well, go out and show something, man.
No doubt.
Now's the time. It's not like this is the most daunting depth chart to overcome. You're fighting against, a former first-round pick to get playing time, but a former first-round pick who's played a lot and has 3 total sacks to his name.
No doubt.
There you go. All right. With that, we're just about done for the day. So before we wrap up and thank everybody, let's welcome in the latest edition of XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. Keeping the sports world spinning with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
Sirs was picking him up and putting him down to get in that chair, man. He was scooting in there. He's showing good lateral agility.
I still got it now. I still got it.
You don't need to punch me.
No need to punch me. I can still slide, kick, slide, punch, and sit. That's what you do.
Whatever you got. Hey, look, kick, slide, punch, and sit down for the next couple
about
hours
right. Yeah,
on XL Primetime. Sirs, what has been your overall takeaway impression for the first 3 days of training camp?
Oh, well, you know what? I was out there Wednesday on the first day. A lot of T-Mac was out there, actually. He was watching the guy. It was a lot of good energy. Good energy. Guys seemed to be enthused, happy to be back in camp. My impressions was, listen, I think that we're going to have some weapons on the offense as far as wide receivers go. Ridley was running those routes so crisp. It was like he was walking on water half the time.
Yeah.
Crisp out his breaks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram looked good. Zay Jones. Everybody just looks healthy. I looked at on the offensive line. Usually we're pudgy out of shape, but we weren't.
Right.
We were. We were in shape. We looked good. Cam Robinson looked good. The only thing that was noticeable to me, a little disturbing to me, is that Anton Harrison looks so small compared to the rest of the guys. That bothered me. It troubled me a little bit.
It's interesting you say that because I saw him. I'm like, my goodness, how big this guy is. Yeah, I did, but I trust your eyes on that.
He ain't thick like you, big man. I'll tell you that, man. He's not.
But the thing is that could be, it could be productive or counterproductive.
Sure.
It could be productive in the fact that the rest of the offensive line just looks freaking huge. Fortner looked like he's put on weight. Sheriff is big.
Yep.
Walker Little's a huge guy. Shattler, whatever. And then, this kid he's going to probably grow into his own. But listen, his size has absolutely nothing to do with his execution. We see him in pass.
Yeah.
and he's rocking and rolling, so what?
Well, that's the thing. We were talking about that a lot today. Who is the person or group that you're most looking forward to seeing in pads? I think we all agree Anton Harrison right there at the top of the list.
Absolutely. I want to see if he's a junkyard dog.
You know he can move.
We know
now
he's
it's
got
how
feet.
strong is he?
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter what he looks like because some guys don't look that strong
That's
and they're not
true.
that strong in the weight room. They get out on the field and they're damn strong.
Listen,
You're like,
absolutely.
wow.
Listen, my whole time here in Jacksonville, me and Baselli were the least benchers on the team.
You seem to do okay.
What? He did all right.
Yeah, did all right.
I saw you bench.
No,
Tony wasn't a big bencher. You could bench.
As far as bench press go, we were at
dumbbells?
the bottom. I used to
Dumbbells?
go to dumbbells.
130s?
One time I went.
I saw you.
One time I went beside T-Mac.
Don't
he was
even.
working out right.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was working out with.
I was doing 120s, but not 130s.
So I had to grab 130s in front of him.
He did, yeah, and did them like
let the little
like not the
linebacker
regular
out
way.
lift.
Like you did them like 12 times. So
I did them
counted.
pretty good. Yeah.
I know. Don't give me that.
I didn't mean to.
Can't bench press, my guy.
You know, it was a Miami Boston College thing. I had to show you.
That's right.
Sirs, what do you guys have coming up today?
Just training camp, and then these guys are dropping like flies in training camp.
Other guys.
Other guys,
Yeah,
not our guys.
Right.
Not guys, other guys. Yeah, absolutely. Joe Burrows and Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah,
you know,
man,
so
big.
that's going to be.
Are we
that's
still
gonna be
sure
something to
that's a
keep-
real injury with Jalen?
I don't know. He pulled the
Give me
back.
some
I don't
time
know.
off.
Come on.
But here's the thing: the veteran move. What I was always told when I was in Pittsburgh is that if you want to get out of training camp, always say it's your back.
Well, he's got a history.
He's
Maybe-
already
maybe
used it.
Can only go to
That's
that
right.
well
He's
so
used
many
it.
times.
Exactly. He's used that trump card already.
Cersei, it was good to see you out at practice, man. Always love your observations. We'll be listening for more today.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy. Kick slide, sit,
Punch.
punch and sit. Punch and sit.
Kick,
Don't
slide,
forget the punch.
You got to punch
Yeah,
so you can sit.
so you can sit comfortably.
You need a little space. You
He
gotta
did.
punch it
Cersei
out.
did move in here. He still
I didn't
moves
see
well
him
for
come. I
big
was like,
man.
whoa.
Whoa, how about that? A little blur. All right, for today, we thank Mike DeRocco for
Yes.
stopping by from ESPN, one of our regs, and, of course, the Hammer, Hayes Carline, his interview with Trayvon Walker. Great camp interviews, and we've come to expect that from Hayes. Check out everything on demand at 1010XL.com. If you can't watch in real time on the YouTube channel, whatever the case may be, I watch, listen, however, it's all out there. It's all over social media as well. Follow 1010XL on all the major social media platforms, and you'll get as good a training camp coverage as we've ever had with Hayes and Mia in particular out there on a daily basis for us. So thanks. Who else? So we heard from Mike Caldwell, heard from Rayshawn Jenkins. Am I forgetting anybody? Oh, of course, all you out there in Radio Land. Tony Smith, great week. Tom McManus, great stuff. Dylan Denmark, not passable.
Did good.
Did okay. He did okay.
Bacchus did good.
He did a great job. And that'll do it for us, man. I'll be out there tomorrow. Tommy Mack, I know you're going to be out there tomorrow.
I turned 53 on Sunday, man.
Do
so it's
you
birthday
now?
weekend. And let me just say this, not to get too deep, but without 53, there is no 55.
All right.
Just for the record.
That's
high
very
school and
deep.
college, there would be no 55.
That's
so
very deep. Those are your high school and college numbers.
53 was high school and college. yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's gonna
thought
be
you
a
meant
big year.
like you were like saying, hey, when I can't get to 55 without going through 53.
Well, that
works
too.
Yeah. A lot
It's
of
even
levels.
deeper.
Look at that. That's what I'm saying.
Blowing my mind. You're blowing
Nice
my
Hula
mind.
Bowl shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. Love to see that throwback today.
Loved
All
it.
right. That'll do it for us. Again, appreciate all of you and your crazy high interest in Jaguar
man.
football. It's why we do a show completely dedicated to the hometown team. Hope to see many of you out there tomorrow. Say hi. You can't just swing by if we're down on the sideline, but
Always say hi.
You know, I said people are like, I saw Dempsey, I saw Tom. Like, come on up, and,
Yeah.
and we love to meet
Scream.
you. Scream
Yell.
at us.
Hey.
Yeah. Yell something nice.
Yeah, man.
If you can.
I'll yell back either way.
I'll try to ignore you if I hear something
Could
bad.
be good, could be bad, whatever.
And we'll do it again, another 2 hours next Monday, and we're rolling now, baby. The seal has been cracked, Tone, and it's all good stuff from here on out. Let's hope a healthy weekend for the Jaguars, and we'll talk to you Monday once again on Jaguars Today from 10 to noon here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Hey, Jacksonville! I don't like that y'all did that Duval without me. Hey, E, how y'all did that, man?